Shakespearean sonnets. If you listen to the podcast, which you should have, you know why Shakespearean sonnets are so romantic. You know that they're hard to write, but you are not sure why. There are 3 strict guidelines that each poet that writes a Shakespearean sonnet must follow. Let's jump right in. The first guideline is about structure. It is in green. Number 1. Each Shakespearean sonnet must have 3 quatrains and 1 couplet. You might be thinking to yourself, Miss K, what's a quatrain? A quatrain is, let's think. Would it help if I isolated quat? Quat sounds like quattro. Quat means 4. So quatrain, really, in poetry, we know that there are lines in poetry, so quatrain equals 4 lines. If there are 4 lines, there must be 3 groups of 4 lines. So here's 1 quatrain, bunch of squiggles, and we have 2 more. So there we go. Quatrain number 1, quatrain number 2, and quatrain number 3. Then, with the 3 quatrains, we also have 1 couplet. If I say, go find a couple of friends, I mean 2. So at the end of each Shakespearean sonnet, there are 2 lines down here that go together. Quatrain number 1 goes together. Quatrain number 2, the lines relate to one another. Quatrain number 3 are all talking about the same topic. And then the last 2 couplets have to do with the same topic as well, usually around how much they love somebody. So this might be about the person's eyes. This one might be about their heart, and this one might be about their brain. And this one and the couplet might wrap it up. Right. Within each line, there is something called iambic pentameter. I'm going to tell you what iambic means. Iambic is a type of syllable combination. In English, we have syllables, and we also have ways that we pronounce certain syllables when they combine. And iambic is a certain way to pronounce syllables when they combine. A iambic syllable combination goes unstressed, then stressed. Think about the word goodbye. How do you say goodbye? Good is not stressed, but we really, in the English language, we stress by, goodbye. We could say hello. We stress the second part of the word. So there are 2 syllables next to each other, and the second one is stressed. That is an example of an iambic syllable combination. So we know that in each line there's going to be this unstressed stressed combination, but pentameter means pent means 5, meter means line. So we have unstressed, stressed, 5 per line. That means in each line we have 5 combinations of the unstressed, stressed iambic syllable. So each line, it would happen here, here, and all the way down. Each line is going to follow iambic pentameter. Each line will sound like this. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. It will follow that pattern, and it plays with how we talk, and it forms a sort of rhythm as we read it. That is what makes Shakespearean sonnets so popular. Finally, each poem has to rhyme, and Shakespearean sonnets have a very specific rhyme scheme. The first line, the last syllable, the first line of each quatrain always rhymes with the last syllable of the 3rd line. The last syllable of the 2nd line always rhymes with the last syllable of the 4th line. Same with the other quatrains. In each quatrain, the first and the third line rhyme, and the second and the fourth line rhyme. And these are represented by different letters because each of the couples that rhyme have to be unique. Finally, the couplet at the end rhymes together. So these two lines will always rhyme. Let's see it in action, why don't we? Here is the famous sonnet number 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? First, let's talk about structure. Can you find the three quatrains and the couplet? Remember, the couplet always comes at the end and it rhymes together. We see here that this is a couplet. The first quatrain here really is comparing his love to a summer day, and he second guesses himself and goes, maybe you're even better than a summer's day. What a compliment. The second quatrain talks about how nature, really the ebb and flow of nature, how beauty comes and then beauty wanes. The sun rises and sets. The hot day is hot and then it cools in night. But then quatrain 3, he says that summer does not fade, that her fairness does not fade, and that her beauty is eternal. And the couplet here is expressing that because he has written this poem, her beauty and his love for her will live on forever. And this is true because we are studying this sonnet in 7th grade English in 2018. So he was right. All right, so we have our three quatrains, and 2 lines at the end, a little couplet. Now let's look at iambic pentameter. I will read the first line out loud. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Let's do the second one too. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. So let's identify these. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Awesome. Each line follows the iambic pentameter. There are 5 couples of these unstressed stress. They work together as one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 5 in the second one. And I have 5 throughout the whole line. So far so good. Sonnet 18, the famous of all sonnets, obviously follows the first 2. Let's see if it follows the last criteria to make a sonnet. Now, this really depends on pronunciation, but as we can see, day rhymes with May, and if you pronounce temperate in that way, then it rhymes with date. Shines rhymes with declines, and dimmed definitely rhymes with untrimmed. Fade rhymes with shade. Oust and groused, they rhyme. And at last, our last couplet rhymes see and thee. Well, Sonnet 18 follows the structure to make a sonnet. There are 3 quatrains, 1 couplet. Each line follows iambic pentameter, and it follows the beat of ba-na, da-na, 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 da-na. That makes it roll off the tongue, makes it easy to remember, much like some rap songs or catchy songs that we listen to today. And it has a particular rhyme scheme. All of this, within these strict constrictions, Shakespeare is able to declare his love. And he did it so well that it's pretty famous. We're still learning about it today. Please see the directions for your final assignment, where you will have to use this structure to create a sonnet of your own.